Welcome back to the collective. We got so many things to talk about today. Leah and I are talking via cyberspace, and we're so excited to get into all the things that have happened this week. How has your week
What
been,
a week
Leah?
of news. What a week of news it has been.
Yeah.
My week has been great. The Sunday scaries are definitely settling in.
Yeah.
But my week has been great. This weekend has been overtaken by me cleaning up my closet, but I do already feel a lot better.
What are
So
your top 3 top finds that you found in your closet?
I found a lot of shoes that I had put back in the box. I don't know if it was that I was going to transport them to another room. I don't typically take shoes out of the box when they're new and then put them back in the box for any reason.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking on that closet clean out, I don't know. Who is she? But I found a lot of shoes that I had put back in the box, which makes no sense because obviously I would forget them. I texted you that I found a Charlotte Russe hanger
That was
that
amazing.
has survived. Call in the archaeologists because there's a fossil living here.
Indiana Jones is gonna bust through your window. It belongs in a museum.
It does. It does. And wow, that thing has survived so many things.
Yeah.
And it's still alive today.
That's like finding, I don't know, like galaxy leggings from Wet Seal. It's just like
Whoa.
belongs in a different dimension, honestly.
And when these things happen, like when you text me and you were like, it's just not your style, like you're just growing out of it, it rationally makes sense. But when certain things happen to me, I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? Last night, it was like it made no sense.
Yeah.
I was like, hate, double hate, triple hate, loathe. What is this?
Yeah.
And then you texted me and you were like, you're just growing out of it. But when it happens to me, it's odd. It's fairly odd, parents.
It's so wild that our fashion, of course, changes just with like trends and styles, but also like where we are in life. Like, are we dressing a little bit more conservatively? Because that's like where our mindset is at, like how we want ourselves to be perceived. It's crazy how our fashion just kind of like changes and um, fine tunes over time, I guess. But I've known people that like have dressed the same since like for years and years and years. And I mean, that's fine and all, but like, what a boring life. Like, change it up, change some styles, take some risks. And if anything, Leah, that pile of stuff, your 8 bags of trash clothes, they're because you took some risks, okay? And maybe they paid off at the time. So I don't know. Take chances.
Yeah.
Life is too short to just settle for, one style.
All of that stuff was just so yesterday.
So yesterday. That's a Late Enough song, I'm pretty sure.
For us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course it is. I was waiting for you to sing it for us.
Okay.
So let's jump in
to
the things that have been on our mind and in your ear.
Let's do it. Do we want to just like jump into, I think, what took on a lot of the news this week, which were the VMAs. So the VMAs, lots of things happened, including a huge news drop, which is NSYNC back together? Is this going to be a reunion tour or just JT? And like, what is the reason to get everybody so hyped up? Because if they're teasing NSYNC is coming back together again and it's just JT going on tour, like, I love JT, but what a heart-wrenching moment that would be. Like, getting everybody so excited.
Why wouldn't they want to go on tour and make millions?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what else does Joey Falcone or whatever his name is, what else has he got going on in his life? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't know what he has going on in his life. I just think that they have an opportunity to make a lot of money. Yeah. No one's going to care that they're horrible because we're going for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I really want that to happen. I could have just
Me
heard the wrong rumor.
too. I hope that you did because that would be amazing if they came back together. And when I was watching the video that JT posted about, I guess, them like teasing them coming back, I felt like he was very much in charge of that conversation and like the production of their new song and all this stuff. And I want, I wonder, like, was that the dynamic when they were together in the 90s or in the early 2000s, or was it more so like a democracy, or if it was like JT's the leader and we're just following along, maybe that was the real reason for the split. I mean, that's why the Joe Bros split up initially. They just
Yeah.
could not agree. And I'm wondering if this will continue, if it'll cause any friction, and maybe that's why they don't want to go on tour.
My vote is that JT has always been front and center. That's the
Yeah.
vibe I've always gotten.
Yeah. I will say though that in this reunion, Lance Bass's hair with that like silver and purple, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a moment.
I
It
loved
was
it.
so cool.
I
I
loved
like
it.
Lance Bass.
And their moment at the VMAs, no one knew that was happening, right?
I don't think so.
I was shocked. I was loving it. I
Shook.
was Taylor's reaction.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then on the topic of the VMAs, what were some of your favorite like fashion moments?
Okay, I thought that Taylor's look was timeless, classic, could work on any red carpet at any moment.
Yeah,
I just think it was like the easy route for her though. And maybe she did that because her Eras tour costumes were so out there and
yeah,
fit to all of the different albums so well, and so much sparkle and so much color, that maybe she was wanting to just go out of that moment, that era for a little while, and just go sleek and black. She obviously pulled it off perfectly, but it did kind of feel like a safe choice. But I think she may have done that
yeah.
because she's been on this summer of sequins and color. It's been
Maybe.
kind of like Lisa Frank, and she just needed a black moment.
Very
So,
possible.
but it was very sleek. I always love a timeless look, a look that could work anywhere. Obviously, Selena, 100%
Oh my gosh. No,
perfection.
mic drop. Her whole look was phenomenal. It was fresh. It was like the perfect amount of like sexy and sophisticated. She was the moment for me. Like she was my top.
She was
Absolutely.
my top two. I feel like she just came in with so much confidence.
Mhm.
And the red is a choice. I mean, red is always a choice.
Yeah.
And she chose it and she rocked it.
Olivia looked really cute. Yeah. I did like her look. Another one that I kind of thought was very fun, and this may just be me like on the Doja train, but I liked Doja Cat. I thought that it was kind of cool and fun, the whole like webbed look, and it kind of fit
Yeah.
her new like gothic style that she's trying to branch into, kind of leaning out of that like pink candy pop and more into like this gothic almost face. And I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very much, it was giving, maybe not to the drama of this moment, but like Lady Gaga's meat dress, you know?
Okay.
And it was like, I mean, if we're still talking about the meat dress today, like it was a moment.
Yeah.
And that's very much what I feel like. It was a very much like artistic choice. And I
And
loved
I
it.
also like Nikki's. It fits her
Nikki,
brand.
yes. I loved Nikki's look.
And then
She had
she forgot
multiple
to
looks.
strap her shoe. That was so funny.
I loved
I
it.
thought that her dress was made for her to have to kind of wobble a bit, but it was because she forgot to strap her shoe.
That's really funny.
And
But
she
also
just
with
told the
like the
whole audience.
C, with the sea of stylists that they had, like that she had probably for that moment, nobody thought to be like, check her shoes.
I
That's
guess
funny.
not. But she was kind of hosting, so there was probably a lot of outfit changes.
True.
And under that long dress, they may not have seen it. Look at us just Libraing. Looking.
Looks I did not really love. Oh, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato freaking looked like Gru from Despicable Me with his giant shoulders. That was like, why did you choose that? I did not like it. Me personally. I
I
get it.
think
I
she's
just said that the web thing, I liked the choice. I liked the style, the artistry of it all. But the shoulder pads were not giving for me. It just wasn't it. It was not the moment.
it was a miss for me too.
I would agree that Olivia looked bomb. She looked so cute. Um Ooh, you know who else looked banging?
Who?
Miss Megan the Stallion.
I was gonna say that.
She looked
She looked really beautiful.
banging. She looked so good. It was
Mm-hmm.
such, again, that balance of sexy and sophisticated. Like, she did have this sheer moment, but it was such a classic style that I don't think I'm used to seeing her in, to be honest. And I loved it. I loved it so much.
I loved it too. I think Kelsey Ballerini looked prom.
Yeah, she did look very prom. It was not my favorite, to be honest.
It was just too safe.
Yeah. You know who else looked beautiful? Sabrina Carpenter. She had like this really pretty like sequence underneath and then like the white draped dress. It looked beautiful on her. She really does look so good in silver. That's like
When
her
were you going
colors.
to tell me that she was Ariana's AI dupe?
She's not.
She sounds just like Ariana Grande. Are we
Are you
talking about
high?
the same person?
No, I don't think so.
Negative. I'm not high. I need to look up who sounds just like Ariana.
Okay, look it up. But it's not her.
Natalie, when she sings nonsense,
She does
it
not sound
is
like Ariana at all.
whoa. This is like majorly wow. Are we on the same planet? Were you taken away by the aliens?
Literally listen to it right now, Leah. She does
Okay,
not sound anything like Ariana at all.
I will.
Her voice? Are you talking about like her voice or like her style of like editing?
Her style and her voice.
She
Wait
wishes
till
she
the
sounded like
end.
Ariana.
Wait till the end when she
I've heard this
laughs
song
like
multiple.
her.
I like this song.
Okay, but at the end, she laughs just like her and makes those little comics.
That was not gonna make
Just like Ariana to me.
I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. But maybe because I'm an Ariana stan. Just kidding.
You would know more than me.
I don't think that she sounds like her, but it's a great song though. I love that song. But I
Yeah,
don't
and
think
she
that she
did look
sounds alike.
beautiful. She did look
Yeah.
beautiful. I feel like I felt too old to be watching the VMAs a little bit. There's a lot
What?
of categories of music that I had no idea was out. There was, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that MTV produces it. Like, head to Snapchat and vote. Like, I'm sorry, what?
I think Snapchat sponsored the VMAs. I think that's what would happen.
Oh,
And that's why everybody was going to Snapchat. They've been really doing the most Snapchat. I feel like they've gotten a lot of like celebrities to like join Snapchat and like jump on the Snapchat train. I think they're losing traction a little bit with the youths, and I think they're trying to be relevant again, or maybe try to reach like an older demographic too. similar to like a TikTok. Like TikTok captured the millennials now. I wonder if Snapchat will do the same. I mean, I used Snapchat for like a hot second in college, and then I just dropped it.
Yeah, it's not.
It wasn't it.
Yeah.
Oh, last fashion thing I'll bring up about the VMAs. Saweetie looks like something straight out of the Flintstones. Did you see her dress? She wore that like purple dress with that giant like mammoth bone sticking out of it.
With the bone. Mm-hmm.
She literally looked like Bam Bam.
She did. She
It's
did.
wild.
I think she just wants people to talk about her, though.
And maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the thing. I just don't think that like a mammoth bone is the thing to talk about. Show up in a meat dress, sweetie.
You got it.
Cheese dress, and you got a whole sandwich.
A club sub, baby.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be good right now?
Really good. Ugh, you know what I've been in the mood for? Just like a really good like Jewish deli, you know, where they make your turkey sandwiches like the size of like a Montana mountain, you know what I mean? Just like a giant thing. We don't have any of those here in the South.
We could just hop on a plane.
Yeah. We could do that too. We could definitely do that. But it's just been like on my mind. Like for a long time actually. And then
like
every time
really
I eat a turkey sandwich, I'm like, ugh, it's not the turkey sandwich that I need. You know? Yeah, that's pretty much all my commentary on the VMA looks. Those were the ones that I had feelings towards. Everybody else just didn't, you know, they were just like fine.
Yeah, I'm done with the VMA talk. Okay. Until next year.
Until next year, VMAs. And then part of the VMAs, was it NSYNC that presented Taylor with the award? Didn't she win Best Pop Star or something of the year?
She won a lot of awards, but I do believe that Pop Artist was one that she also took home. I think she
that
took
was
home
the one
3.
That's awesome for her.
Okay. I am a very big Taylor fan. I can remember the exact location that I heard her first song come on the radio. I can remember the feeling that I had. I've loved her in country. I've loved her in pop. I've loved her when she was in her folklore era. I adore Taylor. And for a long time, I knew that she came up in the media a lot for things other than her music that I chose to look away from. Because in my eyes, Taylor could do no wrong. And so any news that was surrounding anything other than her music, I was like, I'll pass. I'll pass. She's perfect in my eyes. Why think anything different? And the thing about her is, I'm such a fan of her. When I'm such a fan of something, I don't care to prove it to anyone else. If people see it, great. If they don't, great. But if it's something that I like that much, I don't care to prove it to anyone. Yeah. All of that to say, there have been a lot of comments swirling now that Guts is out, Olivia Rodrigo's album, that Taylor is the meaning behind a lot of the songs. Olivia has gone on and said, I just write the songs. However people want to interpret them, they interpret them. She said, I'm not getting into the way that what my songs mean or the way that they were written. That's for you guys to decide, basically. Maybe a defense mechanism to her being truthful. Who knows? However, there are a lot of stories circling around right now that say that she is a mean girl. And some of the songs are about her. Some of Olivia's songs are about Taylor. And I've been kind of pondering on it. And I'm kind of thinking that it might be true. As hard as it is for me to say, and as long as I have like put on blinders and looked the other way, I think that anyone that comes for the type of success that Taylor feels like gets to a certain level, she doesn't want to associate with them any longer, and she doesn't wish them well. I can't even believe this is coming out of my mouth. I really can't. Yeah. But it seems like she's friends with a lot of people up until a certain point, and then it just stops. Yeah. However, Selena is the exception to the rule. unless they're both just being fake and playing the game.
I don't know because I feel like Selena has so much that if Taylor were to write her out, like let's just give into this narrative and think that Taylor is this calculated, which I wouldn't put it past her. But if Taylor really is this calculated, that she's thinking about like who to allow into your like girl gang or whatever, it would look, I think, very poorly to drop Selena. Number one, I think that like Selena's music career has definitely been successful, but not to the point of like that's not like the only thing that she's known for. And so it's not like
Sure.
she's just a pop star.
I would agree with that.
Um, I think that she's a pop star and an actress, and so she kind of wears these multiple hats, which I think maybe in Taylor's eyes is less. She has her beauty brand now, I just feel like she's less intimidating because she's not like that's not all she is, and so I don't know. I think that if she was more so if Taylor was more so, maybe not intimidated isn't the right word, but maybe cautious to bring her up, I think that Taylor's very conscious of her platform. And I think that she knows that she can make or break somebody. I think that she's very conscious of her voice. And so, in that light, I think that she knows that if she were to drop Selena, let's just say from the music scene, that doesn't mean that Selena still won't be successful. I think that she would still be successful as you know, not to say that Taylor would break her music career, but like let's just say if that did happen, she still had her acting career to fall on. She still has
Sure.
her beauty brand. Like she's more of a force outside of her music. And the music, I think, just because it's just a prevalent thing, I think it's just more of a hobby for her. I don't think it's like her big passion in life. I think that first and
Sure.
foremost, she's an entertainer and she likes acting, and I think that she likes to sing, and I think that she's just so multifaceted that just dropping one thing wouldn't really end her. And then number two, I mean, she is like the internet's girl next door, bestie. She's just so kind and sticks up for just about anybody. And I just feel like, if Taylor, again, were to drop her, it would just kind of pull that curtain to the, like, pull the curtain to the world and should kind of show her true colors a little bit more. Because I think the world is a Selena fan. I mean, she's the most followed female on Instagram, and for good reason. She has great content, but more so because people just like her. They like her energy, they like her voice, and I think if Taylor were to drop her, like it would look more poorly on Taylor than it would on Selena.
Yeah. And let me just say, I think that Taylor is a phenomenal person to everyone that's not in her arena.
Yes. Well,
So
you continue, and I'll share my thoughts on it.
I think that she really is, like, when she is performing, and I don't know, I don't think that she has anything to be intimidated by. She's certainly, like, paved her own way and made a lot of success for herself and built this notoriety. But it is interesting who she chooses to promote and be around and who she doesn't. And it seems like her and Olivia had this relationship before, and as Olivia grew, it died.
Yeah, so when Olivia first started coming, I think more to the forefront, Taylor had shared her content, sharing that she really liked Olivia and she thinks that she's going to go really far and is very supportive. And then Olivia had let her know, I can't remember which song it was, but there was a song that Olivia had written and was on her album Sour that said that she was very much inspired by one of Taylor's songs. And then Taylor came after her. Taylor wanted she wanted her name as like one of the I don't know, like she wanted her name on the song essentially. She wanted, I don't know if it was the rights of the song or what, but she wanted propriety over that song that Olivia had said was inspired by one of Taylor's songs. And that to me just really rubbed me the wrong way. I think last year when Olivia won all those awards, I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before for Sour, um, Taylor was nominated as well. I think it was for best pop album, and Taylor and Olivia won that one. But like Taylor also had to get nominated. I don't know. It just seemed very. It was giving bully. It was very like very much bully energy, and I didn't really appreciate that. I think that if Taylor really was a girl's girl, she would have, you know, taken more, maybe more of that inspiration as flattery instead of, trying to put her name on Olivia's stuff and taking money away from her. I just felt like that was very petty, especially considering, again, the fame that Taylor has and the
Sure.
following that she has. Like, Taylor can literally, I don't know, put out trash and people would still buy it and it would be a huge hit and it would be the next era. She's in her trash era and everybody would love it. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily like, not to say that that would happen, because I think that she's very good at curating her content, but I think that she just has such a huge following that to go after like a small fish like Olivia just really rubbed me the wrong way, and I just didn't really like that. And I also just feel like, in my opinion, I really like a lot of Taylor's content, especially her early songs. I really do like it. I just think that there are certain moments. I did not put a blind eye to a lot of the things that were coming out about her in the media, especially when it came to like her Reputation era and the Katy Perry beef and the Kim Kardashian and Kanye beef, and which was justifiable, that one, and like just a whole bunch of other beef, Carly Kloss beef, so much Camila Cabello beef, so many different avenues of beef that I'm just like, why is this so prevalent in her life? Like, why is this? I think that if it's like one or two things, like everybody's got beef, but like to make it known in like a huge news story, I don't know. I think we should make that the title of this episode. Everybody's got beef.
Let's do it.
Um,
All of her friends are pretty much in the acting space. Like Blake Lively and a lot of her BFFs are in acting. She doesn't really
or
have a lot of musician friends.
or less famous friends, like Haim. Is that how you pronounce it? Haim, the three sisters that are in that band.
Yep. Yep.
Um, like they have a couple songs that have maybe hit the charts, but they've been in music forever, and like they're not that famous. You know what I mean? And I
No.
think when
And her
something
openers, for eras, she could have pulled anyone. And maybe
literally
she was
anybody.
going for wanting to pull people that she felt like were up and coming. Who knows? But man,
If that
it
was the
hurts me
case,
to
I mean,
say. It pains me to say. I think she's a wonderful lyricist. I think the way that she puts albums together and the thought that goes into it is second to none. She
completely
just
agree.
is great at her craft. But outside of when she's working, it is kind of giving bully, as hard as it is for me to say. But I think that the people that are meant to succeed are going to succeed with or without her support.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But if you do listen to Guts, I mean, a lot of songs sound like it could be from like the heartbreak, which let's go into that too, because I feel like going through the heartbreak of like losing a mentor, especially, or like a friend, like a girlfriend, that's so hard and so hard to get over. I think it's way more devastating than losing like a love interest, to be honest.
Agreed.
I mean, losing a friend is like they know everything about you. They know all your embarrassing stories. They've been through some very hard moments with you, and then to lose that is so hard. To lose maybe a mentor as well. I know this is maybe a little bit left field, but I just think it's a little bit kind of relevant. Just listening to the type of heartbreak that Olivia talks about, it's very much like that. Like she's losing a girlfriend, she's losing a mentor, somebody she looked up to. And I don't think that people talk about that enough. I think that it is way more difficult to get over losing a friend. It takes way more time to get over that than a boy or girl, whatever.
Definitely difficult. Something that just stings and kind of continues to sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like over time, like I don't know, there are friends that I had maybe like in high school or something that we had a falling out or whatever. Following. Why did I say following out? A falling out. Um and like things come up, you're like, oh, you know who would like that? And then you're like, oh, well, that didn't. You know what I
I
mean?
know. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. It really is. You just build such a special, like you said, bond with them that you don't really have with anyone else, and you share all
Yeah.
these intimate things. It's really difficult. But can we talk about why everyone says that every song Olivia puts out is just like another song that's already been written by another artist? Am I missing something here?
I don't know. I've seen that. It's like, why can't Olivia just have something? Like everything sounds like something. You literally just said Sabrina Carpenter sounds like Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
People thought Cardi B was replacing Nicki Minaj. Like so many different artists are coming out, but like I feel like Olivia is specifically targeted for this, and I don't understand why. She had that issue with Paramore that she was just like Paramore. And now then it was Taylor, and now people are saying that there's a TikTok you sent me that was, gosh, what was it?
Miley.
Yep, it was Miley.
Miley, people are saying Avril. I'm like, no one else does this with any other artist.
I
What's
just think
going
for
on?
her it's a lot more concentrated, and maybe she pulls a lot from. I feel like Olivia, the reason that she's been so successful in such a short amount of time is that she understands the demographic that's listening to her and
Sure.
makes music for that, and especially like tapping into the nostalgia train, which may be why we're so like, oh my god, that reminds me so much of this, or this reminds me so much of things that I used to listen to in high school. And um I think just now with the social media and how everything is working, like it just calls a lot more attention to like similarities, I guess.
Yes. One last thing on Taylor, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
There have been a lot of rumors swirling that she's with football boy
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce. If you recall, earlier in the summer, he attended one of her Eras tour dates,
Yeah.
and he had friendship bracelets for her. And per the media, they did not get a chance to interact and for him to give her these bracelets. And so now the internet is swirling with rumors that they are together. Whoa. I don't know that I really believe it. I
Yeah.
think that this might just be an easy thing to place because of that story that came out earlier this summer. And I think a lot of her fans may want this to happen, but I don't know that I believe that it's actually happening. Taylor has never really dated athletes, so this would be interesting to see her with someone that's completely out of the space of, music and acting. So it would be
Yeah.
interesting to see her with someone else that's very competitive, but in a whole different arena.
Yeah.
I think he's super cute. He seems like really, really goofy and funny. And she's also never really dated anyone that's been anything other than majorly serious. And so I think for those reasons, she
Maybe
would
that
be
would be
going,
good.
yeah, to be with someone that's completely out of the space that she's in, and then to be with someone that really seems like they don't take life too seriously. They're in it for the good time. And it would be interesting to see if they did date and how that would work. But I know that she just got out of a really long, serious relationship. And so,
Yeah.
plus
And
she's
maybe
got the
that's why she
tour.
would want to be with this guy who's very goofy and fun. Maybe she just needs like a palate cleanser, you know?
Yeah.
If she's been with the guy forever, maybe she just needs like a refresh, a reset
Yes.
button. And maybe this guy is her reset button. Maybe it's not like a serious thing. Maybe it's just like, let's just have fun
And
and
I would
hang
love that
out
for her.
sometimes. Yeah.
And maybe he would tell her like, "Hey, lay off the mean girl vibe. There's enough seats at the table in the pop arena."
Do you think that any guy would ever be able to tell Taylor lay off the mean girl vibe?
I
I would be
I don't think that she
so
would take it necessarily, but what if he did make her think twice?
maybe could be. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy.
So,
But
moving on to our favorite family to talk about, the Kardashians have
yes,
released their season 4 trailer for their Hulu series,
I cannot
and
wait.
it's coming out this weekend.
Oh, I cannot freaking wait. It's gonna be so good. It just seems like there's so much juice that I thought maybe could have been a little bit settled in the past season, season 3, but it's coming back, and I was not expecting it to come back. I thought that they were the beef between Kim and Court. I thought they were just gonna try to like do that little conversation and move on when obviously that is not the case. I am very excited to listen to that confessional between Court and Kim. I really am very much looking forward to that. I'm here for the juice, I'm here for the drama. What if this is the breaking point for the Kardashians?
Well, I think that they're starting to film a lot closer together that they weren't doing with Keeping Up and that they didn't do between seasons 1 and 2. So I
Yeah.
don't know that it's necessarily that the beef keeps coming back, but that they're just kind of continuously filming and we've gotten a break within the releases and they kind of split up seasons.
Yeah.
I think they are trying to record a lot closer to their actual life timelines, which I appreciate.
Mhm.
And I don't know that that much time has passed because we saw clips of them recording season 4 when we were still watching season 3. So I think they're
True.
trying to record closer together. I definitely think that it kind of seemed like the conversations between Kim and Court were very much the politically correct thing to say
Right.
of like, I hear
I
you
thought that
out, I
too.
see where you're coming from, but it didn't really go deeper into where they said that this started at, which was their kind of sibling rivalry, which runs really deep and isn't just fixed in one conversation, let's be honest. It's
I mean,
something
that's gonna
that,
take a whole lifetime, to be honest. Like
yes,
rivalries
I
like that, especially that go back to like your childhood, are like it is very difficult to shake off. Very
especially when
difficult.
they're taking $1 million deals. I mean, these are, I know to them, $1 million deals are easy to come by, but I mean, there's high stakes for them and their namesake.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's going to take a while for them to get to a point where they completely hash it out. But I also feel like Courtney may start taking more back seat to the show.
And I honestly wouldn't really be mad at that. She's kind of a
I
little
mean, I really
boring.
want to see her becoming a mother again, especially with Travis, because I don't think she had that partnership with Scott. I think that
Yeah.
Scott has now really stepped up and been an amazing father, but they aren't able to parent necessarily together in the same way that they would if they were living in the same household. So I'm really excited to see her and Travis become parents together, even though they're
Mhm.
already like step parenting together.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if she kind of dips out a little more with the show. And I don't know. I do kind of agree. I think that Kim Court and Chris are kind of carrying all the content for the show. So it
Yeah,
wouldn't be
Kim,
that much of a
Chloe,
change
and
up.
Chris for sure carrying the content.
Thank you.
100%. I am very excited to see Chloe. I think the last episode we saw, she had taken in Tristan to live with her while he's having some construction issues, and his brother living with his special needs brother is living with Chloe, and kind of seeing how the dynamic kind of airs out. See her kind of continued um, see her continue putting up those boundaries with her relationship with Tristan, seeing her brands kind of come together as well. I don't know. I love Chloe. She's my favorite. She's like the moment. She's, yeah, I love her. I love to see. I think I love her. She's my favorite storyteller out of everybody, I think. She just has such an amazing story. And we keep seeing it get even better. And
I
like,
think Chloe is the most authentic for
yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fame has not changed her at all. But Kim is my favorite. Maybe it's because we share the same birthday. We have that October 21st energy. And she's just my fave.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I
is kind of
mean, okay.
iconic.
Let me take a step back. Because my favorite Kardashian, hands down, is Kris Jenner. She is my favorite altogether. But in the show, Chloe, I just think is such a great. Again, I just love to see her story unfold. The other, like Kris and Kim, I just love their life. And I want to be them.
Yeah. No, Chloe does have a beautiful story, and she's so authentic with telling it to the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's really empowering her doing that.
Me
But
too.
super excited for the show. Can't wait to see it all come out and air. I hope they keep doing this because I am obsessed.
Me
And I
too.
really like the switch to Hulu. I love the music they.
Do you want to hear a really funny story?
I would love to.
So a couple of nights ago, Werner and I were just talking, and we were having one of those like ADHD conversations because we both have it, I guess. And we were just like not making any sense at all. I think we were both on two completely different pages, but we ended up talking about seafood. And Werner was like, "You know what is so good? Just like a fresh trollop." And what he meant to say was scallop. And he just kept saying, fresh trollop is so good. And he's like, just like a juicy trollop. Oh, God.
I love trollops. We're going to have trollops for my birthday dinner. And please let him know.
Oh, my God. Just a
They will
buttery
never.
trollop.
They will never be called anything other than a trollop. Furthermore, in my book,
just a
birthday
juicy,
menu.
meaty trollop.
Did you immediately know that he meant scallop?
Immediately, because what else could he have meant? Like, there's no way that he knew what trollop was.
Oh, Werner.
Well, just like a good meaty trollop.
I will never call it anything different now. A
Also,
dollopy trollop.
A dollop trollop.
Of trollop.
Hmm.
I love it.
A dollop of trollop. Yeah. So, that's just a funny story. Speaking of relationships, one more like quick dive in because I think that I want to talk about this. There's a rumor that's going around that now that Brittany is single, Pete wants in on the action. Pete Davidson. And his friends are like, red flag, do not go. to Brittany because they're so concerned, like how they're both just so unhinged that together it could just be like catastrophic for both of them. Can you
A
imagine?
trollopy tsunami.
Yeah. Trello tsunami. Um, yeah, I don't know how to feel about the Brittany and Pete situation. I feel like he's honestly collecting women like Pokemon. She's like, let's just see who else I can get, you know?
So you think it's him approaching them?
It is him approaching them. They've all come out and pretty much said it.
Huh. I need to brush up on my origin stories. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe he's just gotten out of rehab. And I think there are times when you're in really low places that you kind of want to lean into what you're trying to get out of. And maybe that's what his MO is right now, is to kind of jump into something that he knows is a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it would be the right thing for him.
No. Now, if you could pick someone for Pete, who would it be?
Do they have to be single currently?
No, no, be anybody. This is a make believe land.
Off the cuff, I'm thinking like a Mila Kunis.
Ooh, a little Mila Kunis action.
They
And
both
Pete
have
Davidson.
the.
Well,
They
she
both
likes a
have.
goofball. We
She
know
does
that.
like a goofball, and they both have that acting background, so they would relate on that level.
Mm-hmm.
She is a little bit more polished and reserved, so I think that they could bring out really good sides of each other, but she seems very level headed.
Yeah. Also, did you see that Hugh Jackman is getting divorced from his wife of like 50 years?
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
wild to me because I thought they were endgame for sure.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I think people just really grow in seasons, and sometimes they grow apart rather than growing together.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
thing. Like,
crazy.
whoa. The
Very
news.
true.
This week it's been really. The news has been newsing.
The news is amazing. On a lighter note, did you see this week Ed Sheeran just appeared on some rando's wedding day and started playing one of his songs?
No. Did
He
he
didn't
bring
like,
equipment?
yeah, I mean, it was just him and his guitar, and he just walked in and playing the song. And I just thought it was very funny. If you were having a major event in your life, i.e., a wedding day or whatever, who would you want to perform at your wedding?
John Mayer.
Oh, John Mayer would be good.
But I would only hope that because I was getting married to John Mayer and
Okay, I see.
he chose to perform. I
So hopefully it wouldn't
adore
be like a
him.
surprise appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Oh my God. The mysteriousness of him. Ah, ah, he's perfect. He's so talented. He's so hot. He's such a, like, I don't care kind of person, and I love that. He would probably be a really horrible partner, but I would go through it to be with him.
You know what would also be really good? I mean, maybe not in this season right now, particularly in the scope of a wedding, but who would be a phenomenal performer is Kelly Clarkson. The way that she
She
would
would be.
sing you to tears would be
She would be.
phenomenal. I think that would be
Last
amazing.
thing I guess we'll talk about. I have been thinking a lot this week on pretty privilege. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it definitely exists. I think that it's been something that we do, whether we acknowledge it or not. I think it's very much a micro bias that I think everybody has. If you're pretty, you can get away with so much more. You are treated differently. And I think I mean, as a plus size person, I would even go as far as saying skinny privilege as well.
Hmm.
I think that there is a huge discrepancy in a skinny girl. And when you see a skinny person walking down the street eating a donut, you'd be like, oh my God, how cute. She's so quirky eating her little donut, walking across the street. If you see a plus size person eating a donut walking across the street, what do you think people are going to say? What a fat cow. And they may not say it out loud, but they're thinking it. And I just feel like that translates into so many, like when people see a skinny girl, pretty girl trying to carry things into the car and struggling. 5,000 people are going to jump in and help. But maybe somebody who's not as pretty, they probably won't help. I think that they have career advancement opportunities when you're pretty. I think that relationships, of course, are different. Yeah, you're on a different playing field. You're valued a lot more in society, unfortunately, if you are good looking, if you are of a certain weight. And it's really sad. It's sad because, especially, those are things that people cannot control. You cannot control. I mean, obesity is a genetic, we are genetically predisposed to obesity. So that's something that we can't control. Being pretty, you can't control who your parents are. You can't control your genetics. I mean, you could have the most beautiful parents in the whole world and still come out ugly. We've seen it before. It's the age old story. And I just feel like people automatically assign those skinnier people or prettier people on a whole other playing field. Like they start 500 feet ahead of everybody else for absolutely no reason over the fact that they just look pretty.
Do you think a lot of people are cognizant of it?
I think some people are. I think toxic people are. But I genuinely feel that it's, for the majority, a microbias. I don't think that they're actively conscious of it, but it is a truth nonetheless that they
Yeah.
start out ahead. You, as one person, are presenting yourself to your best. You are also a lot more confident, or presenting yourself with a lot more confidence. And I think inevitably people are going to treat you different if you are confident. And I think that confidence plays a big role in our lives, whether we like it or not, unfortunately. But if you are confident and you are decisive, that's attractive as hell.
Yeah, there's an energy there
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that other people can pick up on universally. I would agree.
So I think it's an and. I don't think it's an or situation. I think it's an and. I think pretty privilege exists. And I also feel like when you present yourself to your best abilities, you're going to be confident in who you are and yourself, more confident in who you are and yourself. And you will get treated differently because you're treating yourself differently.
Boom. You said it. You summed it up. One sentence. The thesis is done. The trollop has been trolloped.
Here you go.
Every time I hear trollop now, I just think of Ariel in the sea.
Ariel.
Yeah, like no, I just think of them having like a trollop. I don't know. I just
Do you
love.
think that Ariel is a trollop? Think she's
No.
a
Like
little loose?
one of her, like, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat?
She just has like a prostitute in her cave.
No. She has a scallop that
A
we've now
scallop.
named a
Rebranded
trollop.
to trollop.
I don't think she has
Yeah.
a prostitute in her cave.
Whenever I think of a prostitute, I think of Ariel. No, yeah, for sure. It's
Well,
just really funny
next,
because like that's not a word that people use. Like people don't use the word trollop very often. I think I may
what
have heard
does
it more
trollop
in this
mean?
one. It means a prostitute. You're just putting that together. A trollop is a prostitute, Leah.
And you've just been letting me say this entire
That's why I
podcast?
was confused. I was like, who? Why would Ariel be a prostitute? But it's funny.
I didn't think it had any other name. I thought it was just a burner word.
No, it's a real thing. I mean, he didn't know
You know
what it
what I'd like
meant.
to have? A nice, juicy prostitute.
That's why I was like, what do you mean by that? But he didn't know what it meant.
No, I didn't know.
And that's what it means.
Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day. You truly do. And if you don't, you're not living. Well, next week we're going to have a lot to talk about with cards coming out, Love is Blind coming out. We'll have a lot to rehash. To rehash?
Definitely. Yeah, rehash.
Hash browns? It's another food.
Wow. Get us to the
When is the last time you had a hash brown?
Maybe like I hate hash browns. First of all, I do not like hash browns. I'm not a breakfast potato person. There's just something it just does not agree with me unless it's like home fries where it's like more of a sauteed thing. But if it's like a fried potato for breakfast, it just does not. There's just something about it that makes me real sick. I don't know what it is. So I'm not like initially a potato person for breakfast. But on that note, I will say that I did have the little hash brown rounds from Chick-fil-A. I didn't have them. I had one of them, like one little round, because Werner was like, just have it. I got it for you. And I had it, and I didn't want to seem like, mean or ungrateful that he got me breakfast. Literally, hunted for our food, came back, brought, his bounty, and I wasn't gonna eat it. You know what I mean? So I ate the little potato round. And, I almost threw up. It was so gross.
I didn't know this about you. I guess I've learned 2 new things today. So, what is your go-to breakfast food? Like if you're hungover?
A bagel. I love a good bagel. Bagel and cream cheese. I love it. I'm not even really like a huge okay, hold on. Backtrack. I like eggs. But I I like eggs, but I don't love eggs. Like it just not have to be an egg breakfast to be my favorite breakfast. Okay. I like eggs, I think, more as like a lunch dinner thing than a breakfast thing. Are you a breakfast for dinner girly?
I just can't hear you say I like eggs without thinking of Debbie from the Amanda Show. I am a breakfast girl. Breakfast for dinner, sign me up. The French toast, the waffles, the pancakes, the sausage, the cheesy grits, just the whole aura, the orange juice, the Diet Coke on the side, the coffee, the whole thing about breakfast.
Okay, just zoom out really quick because there's nothing like a late breakfast, like a 10 to 11 breakfast with a crisp Diet Coke on the side. It just slaps.
It slaps. It crisp browns. It's good. Well, thanks for hanging with us. We will catch you next time, collective members. Bye.
Bye.